Hey Sharon.
Rick.
So our last discussion, we were talking about turnkey homes uh, versus properties that need a little work, and we what we didn't get into is pre-construction purchases versus just buying a house that's already been owned. So I was hoping you could address that a little bit, um, and talk about, what are some of the risks involved in going pre-construction? What are the benefits that you're looking at? Things along those lines.
Yeah, actually, that's an excellent one. And also, I will want you to address the financing and the pre-approval issues because that comes in a little bit different again, and it'd be great for people to know. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me start with a couple of things. The main thing with a pre-construction home, it's being built. It's being built for you. You might be able to have a little more control over the finishing touches. Although again, with limited supplies, you don't quite have the same amount of options, but you can have some options. Um, Usually, not always. But no one's ever lived in it. Yes, you have a 7-year carry-on warranty that is a part of it. So structurally, you're protected should something go wrong with the home. You have a recourse, and that is really important considering the value of a home. Um, the other thing is you would in most cases be required to put 20 to 25% down, not at the beginning, but from the time you make the offer to before occupancy. There are 4 or 5 window time frames, or 3 if it's kind of close, where you have to come up with that money for your deposit. You would be locking in the house at today's price, not next year's price. So these now that can be both a pro and a con, but you will need that deposit for it, and you will need to make sure that you still have your ducks lined up if you have a property for sale, the risk and how long it would take to do it, how quick the market can change, and also about your financing. Make sure you've done your footwork and your homework. If I'm working with you as an agent, I represent you to the buyers because I know to look for those kind of things. I know what kind of things looking at in terms of cap fees and development fees and things like that. What builders I can negotiate with in terms of a down payment, what builders we can negotiate with in terms of closing or any flexibilities therein. There's all kinds of things to look for. Assignment clauses, all kinds of stuff. So have again an experienced agent working with you if you're buying the pre-construction. There is a lot more different information that you're needing there. The con side to buying a pre-construction is delays in when it's being closed. If you need to sell your home, where you're going to live in the interim, how many delays, what happens if the builder cannot get the material, or in like we've had in 5 separate examples that I am familiar with personally in the last year and a half thereabouts, is builders that now labor shortage, supply shortage, increase in material, increase in labor cost, and the new house you purchased at yesterday's price now has a new price tag on it that's going to cost another 150, 200,000, 75,000.
Let's talk about that for a bit, Sharon, because
Yes,
I'm curious, like, how can they do that? They had a contract with the buyer. How can they just renege on the contract?
it is an unforeseen circumstance beyond their control. There is no legislation in place to stop them. They have been trying to bring in legislation to say, if this is your price, this is your price. On the builder's perspective, they could not have, none of us have foreseen a time when something like COVID